Dire's middle tower is under attack. Oh, Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Check, check. Satu dua.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Check sound, check sound.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Check, check. Satu dua.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Check sound, check sound.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Check, check. Satu dua.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Check sound, check sound.
Regeneration.
Well, Gunnar ended up getting the shard, so his Scorched Earth will heal himself. 60% of the damage done.
Just confirming the arrow can hit the Tormentor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It won't stun it though.
Yeah. I just feel like I've seen more missed arrows on the Tormentor than I've seen hit ones. So as much as we're laughing at it, this is not my first time seeing that in a pro game.
Just the angle, you know, as during this downtime, GAIMIN will be taking Roche.
Hey, well, who gets the Aegis? Is it Ace or is it Duracho?
Oh, Roshan falling to
It
the
isn't
side.
even Quinn. There you go. You want another curse?
God, you're the best analyst, man. This is
God, I
great.
love it. I love setting myself up for failure. It's the best.
You could have just stopped at who gets the Aegis.
Yeah, but what's the fun in that?
Then you get 2 out of the 3 cores and you still get it wrong.
Yeah.
Man,
I mean, what's the fun in that?
it's impressive. It really is impressive.
Dude, you gotta go for a little bit of it. You gotta live a little, you know?
I agree.
It's
Oh
like,
boy, Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, you could also say nothing, then you're never wrong, but then there's no stakes. And I love steak.
Yeah, you sure do.
Dire's
medium
middle
rare,
tower is
if I
under
remember
attack.
correctly.
Oh, yeah.
So Aegis on Quinn, as expected. Whoa, they're actually going to zip on him right away. See if they can burn this. And Thunder somehow is still alive! How? Copy and Company take out Tofu. Quinn looks like he's going to be able to walk away from this. Now they have an idea that he is here. It's right here at the 3 here underneath from Duraggio. Big zip from Copy trying to post everything on the Razor now. That is going to be enough damage to take him out. And Quinn! This is going to be a full team wipe for now. How?
My goodness. This Doom is so tanky with the
Dire's middle
Shiva.
tower is under
The
attack.
shard actually saved him.
Actually true.
Actually did.
He's survived because of the shard, and you know, Dota is a game of feel, so
Dire's top
GAIMIN
tower
might have
under
felt
attack.
like they had that kill and just underestimating how much he was able to sustain in that
Who
situation.
gets shot?
In the brilliance.
You guys have weird keys over here?
We have our keyboards have a slightly different layout because we have extra vowels, and we have extra vowels because our language is so beautiful that we
Yeah.
need more letters.
I see, yeah.
There you go. Pausing again, he just can't get over it.
So what key
Another keyboard. It's
is going to be... Okay.
Yuma's like, can I have your Danish keyboard? That sounds amazing. So he's pausing. He's asking the admins for a replacement keyboard with A, U, and O on it.
E-N-O. Well, Dota players should be more familiar with that. Than
Our old MacDonald had a farm. You should hear that one. It's insane, the Danish one.
Can you sing it, please?
E-I-E-I-A-O. No? Oh, that's not how
God, that
it is.
sounds
I wish, though.
like word vomit right there.
Yeah, that's Danish.
Good stuff. Great country you got here, Cinder.
Yeah.
Really loving it so far. Really loving this pause that has been caused by the Danish people, apparently.
Well,
Of course, we don't know what they mean by keyboard issues.
yep, don't know either.
So game state right now, Nouns with a 9K lead. We've been talking about this quite a bit. Feels like even when a team has it feels like a sizable lead at like this stage of the game, for example. We look at the net worth, it's like 3 or 4K, which is not gigantic. This one
I mean, this is
feels very gigantic.
This is monumental because of the way GAIMIN's lineup functions. I feel like their timing has been missed now, and in order to come back from this, you need to be really clever, effectively. You can't just play on, how to say, autopilot with so many of GAIMIN's games with this type of lineup. They're winning now. Like, this is when they get their second lane of barracks. They haven't taken a tier 2.
That is true. It feels later than it really is.
It's very unusual for them to be put in this position, which is, you know, CY was saying in the interview pre-game, we're happy with the heroes we've got. We know if things get rolling, we're gonna run them over with our timing, and if it doesn't, we'll see how it goes. Kind of. That's where I'm at right now. I'm at the copium phase for the Dire strategy,
I see.
where you kind of, at this point, you're relying on significant outplay, because I think the timing that your lineup was meant to crush them failed, because Nouns played super well around the map. They are now fully online with a lineup that scales incredibly well on every hero, mind you. All the supports are monsters late game. Treant and Hoodwink are some of the best late game supports you can get. And you have an IO whose late game contribution primarily is keeping one hero alive, but that hero can get doomed. So it's kind of a catch-22 where, you know, your options don't sound that great right now.
Yeah, and from the GAIMIN side, Invoker should be a very important hero on this lineup. He is just struggling big time.
He is so far
They
back.
put the Aegis on him so that he could survive.
Yeah.
Immediately burns it, and then dies in that big team fight that Nouns win. So it feels like Quinn is just very far behind right now. But, I mean, in terms of if they end up trying to go high ground against GAIMIN, Invoker, historically speaking, is incredible at defense. How's their lineup overall?
Yeah, a big part of Invoker's defense, though, is also having many levels in Exort, because then you actually pose a serious threat of killing you with the combo. But Quinn's build currently is 4-7-2, so his spells don't deal a lot of damage. He can burn some mana, he can be annoying. I don't know if he should buy a shard, if that even helps at all here.
GAIMIN have 0 shards versus the 4 on them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just tricky, right? This is what happens in games where you build a tempo lineup and you itemize for tempo and you miss the margin, right? Miss the you miss the window, so to speak. So I don't know what I would recommend buying on Invoker in this spot. It looks like he's trying for a pike. And I guess with that, his plan is to transition into right click, because he's identifying that if we're going to win this game now, it's not 25 minutes anymore. Now we're looking at 50. So perhaps this item can help him bridge that gap.
Well, Yuma has finished his Gleipnir, as we're on pause now, in case you're wondering. For everybody, it was Alt-Tab.
Yep.
This is not a highlight. This is live action.
We had a...
Sounds like we have some in-game communication from Nouns that we get to see. Let's take...
Where's the party?
Invisibility.
Haste!
Being a former pro player yourself, Cinder, what did you think of that conversation?
I love, you know, okay, so Fly, I think they were effectively suggesting let's buy Vlad's on Treant so our right clickers do a lot more damage, and Fly was like, I'm buying Blink, I'm not getting that shit.
He just shuts them down immediately.
He has his own read on what he needs his hero to do, and damn, he's gonna do it. But then they were like, okay, but after the Blink. And you know, sometimes this is how communication does go down with item suggestions and feeling out the game. You know, ultimately, whoever is playing their own hero will have the final say in what they want to do. You can ping pong ideas when there's downtime, and this is how you level your mindset of where the game is headed, right? Because they might feel like, hey, if we buy Vlad, we can just run them over. And Fly just has a different idea.
Pulling out the BKB from Garage. Look at the damage coming out from Yuma with his solar flare. Oh, right click is enough. Relocate too slow. Big kill for Nouns. They force out the BKB and they get position one kill.
I've seen this hero for a week and I still get surprised by Mirana's damage.
It is absurd.
It's so
nice
crazy.
Arrow timing. Celery will die as well. Getting worse and worse as Doom applied to the Invoker. He's actually just going to keep you out, so we'll actually be fine.
Gunner Infernal bladed him there. A bit of a mistake, perhaps.
Muscle memory.
Yeah.
Gotta get that damage in.
Could have possibly. I mean, maybe he felt like he had to Infernal Blade to allow himself to cast the Doom. At this level, the players are very fast to react and get a counterplay in. But yeah, he needed that to stop the TP out. So he does get out.
Very slight mistake in what is pretty much a flawless game from now.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Dota for
under
a year or
attack.
two, Doom has changed. So now when you're doomed, you are no longer muted unless Doom takes that town at level 25. In return though, heroes that are doomed cannot heal in any way.
And
so
you cannot deny them anymore.
you also can't deny them. Yeah.
Gunner caught off with the tornado. Going to be surrounded by Duraccio as well as Quick.
Good overgrowth.
Line, and you zip in from Copy as Mortimer gets is doing some damage. It looks like the Doom will finally go down, but Yuma again from the sidelines just ripping everybody a new one. But Quinn and Duraccio already dead. Ace connected by Celery. He's running out of mana, so it looks like the Brood will get away. Tofu, in the meanwhile, being hounded by Yuma. Will be able to get to the low ground, but the zip from Copy, still no mana. We'll have to be happy with the 2 kills, and of course 2 core kills. Feels like they just need so much to kill Gunner, and then once they do, it's like, okay, what else do we have left?
What do you think Fly is telling his teammates now?
I buy Vlad.
Oh, I thought he was saying, see guys, this is why I buy Dagger.
True.
That was a... If he had a Vlad's there, that's a dead Doom and nothing more happens. And this is not about he is right, his team is wrong kind of, but you know, you have your own feel. That was a great moment to have Blink. Maybe the next fight would have been a great time to have Vlad's, but this is why itemization is so important. You need to visualize what's coming up. And that was a good Blink moment. All right, Nouns are not gonna let this slip away at this point. They really want to keep control of the map, so they will be pushing out aggressively together in the top half. They're starting to cross the river a bit more than they have so far in this game on average, I would say. We'll see Ace mid, or you'll only see the spawn Spiderlings cast, so I can't really go for it.
A lot of spiders there. Ace does take the damage room. Will it cost him though? Copy. Zipping around, and yeah, it's just a free kill.
That did cost him.
Wow.
Filled with blood.
Was it worth it? I don't think so.
I hope that was a rhetorical question.
I did answer it myself, so
I hope that wasn't a rhetorical answer.
Is that thing a rhetorical answer?
Stop asking more rhetorical questions.
Okay.
Dyer's middle tower's under
Tier
attack.
2 is next for Nouns. The question is, when is Roche? So 30 seconds away from knowing when will spawn.
Dyer's middle tower's under attack.
Dyer's tower taken out,
It's
so
gone.
only 2 remain. Stage,
Yeah.
both bottom and top.
All right, in your expert opinion as a pro Counter-Strike player,
Expert, yeah.
what do you think GAIMIN Gladiators should do now?
I think, oh boy. I was going to say contest Roche, but they do
Dyer's
have some
top
decent
tower's under
AoE.
attack.
Yeah, I'd say contest.
So what you would have done was spin
What a
the
mess.
wheel and kick a random
Not my
teammate
problem,
because
but
it was
Dyer's
their
top tower
fault.
just fell.
That, you're asking me what I would have done? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Goes without. And the fact that they, I mean, not that these heroes hate having Manta necessarily, but against a tree, you pretty much have to go Manta style.
Yeah, you're either relying on Manta or Satanic, right?
Satanic would work as well.
But Satanic doesn't feel that great against Doom, so it's really, you know, it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Either way, one way or the other. And I don't mind the Manta choice from Duraccio. I mean, it's still a fine item regardless. Lois will be pulled in, reload.
Celery is expecting an entire response here.
Yeah, I mean, now they're just in their heads, right? This was a solo hoodwink, and they're like, the whole gang is here.
Yeah, PTSD does that.
Yeah, but, I mean, don't blame them, because Nouns have been playing pretty tight. I mean, most of their moves in this game have been with many heroes. Duraccio,
Yeah,
that's BKB. Celery's toast.
he does. Celery
Oh my
again,
God, this
life
damage.
near into the arrow. Not quite connecting. Quinn gets out. But Copy wants to continue on, and Duraccio, without the help of Io, just melts.
Honestly, it feels really nice for Storm to get Solar Flare.
That is, by the way, I don't want to harp on it. Duraccio is 0 and 7. How often do you see that? That is rough for the Razor this game.
Yeah, enjoy it while it lasts. It's 0-8 in a minute. Sorry for the
Dyer's
ill omen.
bottom tower's
Maybe they
under
can
attack.
bring it up to a 1-7.
Stop being so negative.
I am super positive for Nouns. They are playing an outstanding game. I have to say, they surprised against Spirit already.
We need to reiterate, they have been the underdogs 2 series in a row now, and they have looked amazing.
Yeah. I think you got to start putting some respect on their name based on these performances. It's not just that they're winning against a series against Spirit, you know. You could be like, yeah, they had a good series, Spirit let them have their heroes. They're bringing totally different heroes to this game. They're playing against a hero that everybody's been scared of giving GAIMIN. They let them have it, and they're just rolling them. So, like, what's the ceiling? If you can, they've got to be really feeling themselves in terms of confidence here. Because this is also, the panel was talking about this pre-game, what precedent is this going to set for the tournament if GAIMIN win with this first pick Brood? What precedent is it going to set if they get owned?
True.
You know, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to start second-guessing the Brood? Was that really the problem? Are other teams going to be inspired now to let them have it? Or are Nouns just the best team in the world? You know, there are many questions that will be answered within the next week.
Yeah.
And that could be one of them. All right, Flybot Glads.
All right.
Much to his own dismay, but he did it because he's a good teammate and he wants to keep morale high.
Let's see if he regrets it.
Yeah, I think he actually really wanted to buy Basher, but we don't have an audio clip of that, unfortunately, for you guys to listen in on.
Basher would be quite good.
But
that's true.
He's Giga Chad enough to buy a Basher on stream, you know.
Aegis on copy now. And of course the banner on 1.
17,000 gold lead.
We have not seen leads this large, this early, very often.
That's true. It's a lot of the games have been, even with, I mean, this is a pretty lopsided kill score. Many of the games we've had have been.
Even in the games that have lopsided kill scores, it's not been.
That's fair. It's probably been like half of this. There is a bit of a doom going on, you know, but still, it's quite overwhelmingly one-sided here. Want to commend Tofu on his farm. We haven't had so much positive to say about GAIMIN Gladiators, but Tofu on the Snapfire has actually managed to keep a really high net worth in an extremely dire situation. And obviously this comes at the expense somewhat of teammates, but he's the richest support in the game on a totally losing team. It might have to come up big as this defense needs to be mounted. My god, this push is so quick. So much damage.
Garachio does take the enemy wisdom room.
Right, Coffee's in there.
You have to go in. Put Electric Vortex with the ult from the snap. It's dead. Gunner uses the Doom. He does have the buyback on the Quinn though. Garachio pops up the EQB, trying to get back to his fountain. The damage from Yuma is absurd. Triple kill. Will he just bounce the arm at this point? Why not? Ultra Doom.
Another? He's disarmed.
Will you give him the rampage? No. They've stayed a little bit too long. But still 3 dead for GAIMIN, and they call GG. Nouns absolutely dismantle GAIMIN Gladiators in this game number 1.
Holy man. Talk about momentum. They start the group stage 2 and 4. Everybody's writing them off like, yeah, I mean, and keep in mind, this team, I believe their first game of the tournament, they got beat down as hard as anyone has. I think they got 25-1'd by BB team in their first series, so, and they lost that series 2-0 as well, mind you. And since then, they find themselves 2 draws. They start, you know,
happen, maybe you need to look towards the Ratchet and Celery. Like, them dying top lane multiple times to the Doom plus Storm rotation maybe hindered GAIMIN's ability to play at the speed that they wanted, because other heroes were online and ready to fight, but cheap kills were being given to Nouns, which accelerated their scaling to the point where we're already, 20 minutes deep into the game, and it's just the Nouns show.
I'm with you too, because you could feel from the laning stage that GAIMIN were building their typical GAIMIN lead, and all of these key items are coming online. But Nouns, they completely outmaneuvered GAIMIN on this map. When GAIMIN smoked bottom with the Invoker to kill the Mirana, they instantly countered. Instantly. The instant TP top on the Storm where they doomed the Ire Razor, killed them. Like, that was just a matter of seconds, to a point where, because GAIMIN were occupied on another side of the map, they actually ended up losing more. And then even later on, when Gunnar was doing things like dispelling Orchid with his neutral creep, like, all of these tiny little advantages they got from fights that could have easily gone for the side of GAIMIN. And not just that, the smoke that they did to the Wisdom Rune, we're like, too bad they missed the Wisdom Rune by 3 seconds, but no, they ended up killing the Razor and stealing the Tormentor. Like, Nouns were just world class today with their rotations.
Yeah, it felt like Nouns was a little bit one step ahead of GAIMIN the entire time in terms of movements. It is a game where a Brood game, in a certain sense, T, can you consider it a Brood game to be somewhat scripted? Because if you play the Brood, this is the way you should play on tempo, everybody kind of knows what's coming. Did you feel like Nouns was basically one step ahead?
Kind of just farmed, waited, hoped to find opportunity. With their draft, they need to be way more active.
It felt like they got taken aback by how well Nouns were playing, and that's kind of what we saw from Team Spirit yesterday. And after yesterday, going into this matchup versus Nouns and underestimating them, you absolutely cannot do that, because these players are taking it to you and they're beating you up. And I love that Fly is brought up here, because we didn't talk about this Treant Protector. This Treant Protector, they won twice with it yesterday versus Spirit and today. And maybe it's not so much the Luna that's the issue right now, or the reason why they're doing so well, but the Treant who's enabling the Miranas and enabling the Lunas. Off of the back of Fly and his vision and his early sustainability, he is building an early lead for his carry.
Yeah, he's now played 4 games of Treant in a row. All 4 of them wins. I wonder if there's some correlation there.
If we talk about Treant Protector a couple of years back, the kind of OG Treant Protector player was Celery. When he came into the scene, he was the one who was kind of undefeated with the hero. Nobody else wanted to touch it. The hero was not OP at the time by any means, but that's how he crawled into the professional scene, and this is something that might have slipped under their radar. Also, another player that we must address is like Mirana. You must ban some of his heroes because he plays it so well. And also you need to pressure him more in the lane. I thought after seeing the first tier 1 tower falls in a mid lane because they made a rotation, Quinn plays with the catapult, the tower dies, they didn't have a hero that is anti-Brood Mother. None of them are really good. So what they did is they bring the numbers and they also put the aggression that was supposed to be in the bottom lane, they put it somewhere else, and these are the type of fights that Nouns are going to win.
Yeah, and one of the fights that they did end up winning was around a Roche pit over an Aegis. And, Nouns is a cool team to follow. We don't know too much about what's happening while the game is going on, but that's why we got the technology to listen in.
Back. Already start backing. Watch if they overchase though. Watch if they overchase.
They used one.
Help them.
I'll die.
We're there, fight, guys. Fight. Hit the race. Yeah, kill him. Okay, they're out there. Go. Kill the snap.
I
don't
have this action.
I have this action. I have. Give me. Left. Give me
Kill the Ire.
Get back, guys. No, fight. Go. Kill him, Razor. Ayo. He'll die.
Nice.
Well played.
What a fantastic listen-in. I feel like this is such a stark contrast from some of the other listen-ins we've had, where, you know, it's all very calm and calculated. You hear Yuma just, go, go, go. We can kill the next one, go, go,
so
go.
chaotic. You have to repeat multiple times. There was like 7 backs and 15 goes.
But the fight was
dust. But it's all about the execution. Yeah. But you know, having a chance to listen how they talk, this is something that they should definitely improve on.
But it's like layers of trust, though, right? Because in that fight, they had to go back to, you know, get the high ground advantage. Then you need your carry to actually say, no, we can fight. And no one
disputed that. They just went.
Exactly. So it's like the layering is like, it sounds chaotic, but it's actually like they listen to every moment. It was like, get back, they step back. He says go, they go. So it's like, in the moment, it's very, very, very skilled.
I heard at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, go back and go at the same time.
No, they filtered out the back. It's like, if you must speak, you listen, you know? So it's like, they did good in that.
It's because the Doom was getting more and worse kisses. They were like, oh, help him, help him. Gunner's like, I'm dying here. And then all of a sudden, this Mirana with this solar flare, he was like, kill them, guys. Look, I'm killing everybody from this high ground. Because their HP bars were just disappearing on the screen.
And you did hear them being on the same wavelength where all of them at the same time, somebody, invoker, 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 like...
I don't have detection. I do! Yay!
Oh, that was actually really fun to listen into. And again, it was a very stark difference from some others, but I think that just goes to show like how this team is going very strong. I think momentum might also have a big impact here, Effie.
Yeah, momentum is a huge thing, but also these players, we talked about how last year they did something similar when they knocked out Tundra, who also chose them to lower bracket, and T was talking about how after that they played versus GAIMIN, and then they lost to GAIMIN, and this is a demon that they have to conquer. Like, they bring the momentum, but not just that, this desire to win in a way that didn't exist before, because it's not just, oh, they get to win and advance in TI, but they get to show revenge and show all of these teams that underestimated them that they are just as good, if not better. And that's what we're seeing, because there was underestimation coming out of everybody, not just other teams, the panel.
I'm pointing at Tigav.
How?
You said started the panel. We were very excited, and you're like, well.
Because we can't do the generic thing where it's like, we did this last year. Now's we're gonna do it. No, I want to wait and see. I need the proof in the pudding.
I underestimated them.
That's
too.
fair.
I thought to myself, okay, the Luna, maybe got figured out, but no, they're just playing exceptionally well, and they've shown it to us in this game one.
It comes down to their drafts. I think every single time we see the drafts in the last couple of days, we're like, they're cooking. And you know why? Because we also got to give credit to their coach, Milan, who is doing a very good job. For people who are not familiar, you know, he had the, I would say, relatively good career, like during the DPC. Mirana was also at one point of the time renamed to Milana, considering how good he played the hero. And he was like, every single time you talk to a guy, he has some like really nice, interesting ideas about the game, some fresh stuff that he brings to the team.
And he has said that that the way they're drafting is very collaborative. It's him and Fly making all the calls, and he's basically there to
I'll tell you what,
empower Fly.
I come outside to pick up my food earlier today.
Okay.
You know who's outside? Fly and Milan. They're talking about Dota. You know, I step aside so I don't hear all the insides. My food is not there. They trick me. It went the other direction, but whatever. So I go back inside the hotel.
He's also just super fun, and I'm sure he brings up the vibes in any team that he joins, because back during DPC days, he was like the biggest goofball on the player cams. He was always doing bizarre things on the
playing
camera.
without a shirt.
Funny in interviews. He just brings a certain goofiness that can only enhance a team environment. But from what I've heard from the players, he also brings seriousness when he needs to, so he does strike a good balance.
Very good and very important, and it's time for GAIMIN Gladiators to find the balance in the series, because if they want to secure themselves top 6 at this international, they need to start by winning just one game here so they can force out a game number 3. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we see the faces. They gotta find it in them to get some extra energy to strike back. We know that this team is very strong, Effie. How do you feel like they are gonna recover here?
I think you have to adjust your mentality if you're if you're GAIMIN and you have to look at this as if you're playing Team Spirit, or if you're playing Team Falcons, or if you're playing Team Liquid. Every step that you have to make, you have to do with the knowledge that your opponents will find an equally good trade on the other side of the map. Because GAIMIN, they won their lanes in GAIMIN fashion, but then, for example, a smoke to the Wisdom Rune where they fought at Tormentor, they didn't see that coming. That's something that they would have expected if they were playing against Liquid. But NOUNS coming and stealing their Tormentor at minute 21, that's not something they accounted for. So they need to just approach the game differently in how they think about it.
I don't mean okay, just to be clear here, I rate NOUNS very highly with their drafting.
Yep.
But there seems to be an aura around them where their opponents seem to, in the playoffs, do some of the worst drafts they've done at the International. Like, I look at Spirit's draft from yesterday, and it's like, you're picking Tinker 2 games in a row. Huh? It goes against your entire, the entire winnings formula.
What was your reaction?
Huh? And then, like, today, I'm looking at a GAIMIN lineup, and it's like, if they don't win in 20 minutes, they're going to get picked apart. Like, I love the journey NOUNS are on right now, but I feel like Spirit and GAIMIN, like, they showed us some of their weakest Dota that they've done so far.
Kind of dropping the ball, potentially, based on what they should be doing.
And NOUNS are capitalizing on it, which is incredible.
They did drop a ball. They just played IO. It's also one of the strats that doesn't seem to be working for them. Against G2IG, against Extreme GAIMIN, they went all in, no stun whatsoever. I just want to see some control, because we've seen in this clip that played multiple times, and they're taking a fight, not killing a single hero, is they can't focus it down. There's some Mortimer's Kisses all around. They're trying to focus one hero down, but you just don't have enough control.
May I make a counterpoint that with Team Spirit yesterday, we saw them draft in a completely different way than their style, especially with the two Tinkers that they decided to work into their drafts yesterday. But what we saw out of GAIMIN in Game 1 was classic GAIMIN. This is not a draft that is unused.
NOUNS Esports turn to pick.
It was like the most all in. Normally they've taken a step back from like Liquid is the quickest team. GAIMIN used to be the quickest team.
I can only imagine, but because the lanes didn't go forward. I can only imagine, but because the lanes didn't go forward. I can only imagine, but because the lanes didn't go forward. I can only imagine, but because the lanes didn't go forward. I can only imagine, but because the lanes didn't go forward. I can only imagine, but
at one point of the time, renamed to Milan. One point of the time, renamed to Milan. One point of the time, renamed to Milan. One point of
with the Orchid pressuring as well, like not to try and compare like Thompson to Quinn.
No matter what you pair him up with, Snapfire was also not level 6 at the time. Viable one, but still gonna get the job done.
Yeah, and Windranger is just one of Duratio's standout heroes this tournament. I mean, you could make the case that it's a standout hero for a lot of carry players, but he's been playing so well on it. Yesterday we saw him just go Arcane Boots into Maelstrom into KB, join the fight mid, and win the game off of how farmed your Windranger was. He also does really cool things on this hero where he goes through the gate minute 5 early, throws a power shot. If he doesn't see a kill, he goes back through. He knows when to farm, he knows when to fight. He just has a very solid understanding.
Yeah, and it seems like GAIMIN now also has a solid understanding of not letting Fly have that Treant Protector. They banned it out. They already banned out Mirana in the first phase. That was the one change-up that we saw in the opening. Now still went for the same opening, of course, with that Doom pickup. And now we got a Tusk. This is a lane that we have talked about a lot. Tusk Windranger as the safe lane duo has been incredibly successful.
There's a lot of damage. Like, with either one classic that you take, tag team or drinking buddies, Windranger is very well enabled off of it. When you look at Tusk versus Doom, you have the extra seconds that you can buy in Snowball to save your targets. You have a hero that, after the laning stage, can freely roam to mid.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this Phoenix could be a really, really good pickup against the Windranger. Because what she wants to do is use Whirlwind, run in, and try to kill all the heroes. But the hero doesn't attack the egg. And if you want to cancel that, your Whirlwind is going to stop, because you can't just reactivate it.
And that's kind of what Nouns are saying, right? You got the Phoenix can do it, Hoodwink can run around in the trees, disappear. So supports aren't at a Whirlwind's in play, I'm just instantly dead. Like, that's obviously the weakness of having melee supports against this new version of Windrunner. And again, it feels like Nouns are inviting GAIMIN. Like, please, draft aggressive, run into us. Because if you do, then you have to find the Hoodwink in the tree line. You have to eat through the egg. You've got to play out a number of disadvantages of Doom. So I think Nouns' overall strategy for this series is allowing GAIMIN to run at them. Here comes the Brood once again. Anti-Brood heroes aren't really in play. Laning phase, yes, the Phoenix or the Hoodwink in laning phase will be a strong support to at least apply pressure, but when the level 6 comes into play, there isn't the let me defend my tower type hero.
There's also just a different safe lane pairing for this Brood, where if the game needs to slow down, instead of trying to make it action-packed, Windranger can just chill and farm. Tusk can play for rune security with Quinn.
What about some Earthshaker for Nouns? Because they will have the pick and then they can protect the Earthshaker in the last phase. Works really well. Copy had some really nice itemization when they played against Spirit. He's not trying to copy other players. He is having, you know, a thing of his own, buying that Nullifier, second Nullifier ever purchased in a pro game.
Pick it good. Yeah, and it was one of the heroes that we have seen GAIMIN ban out in the second phase previous game because they want to prevent him from Copy from playing that Shaker. We got the sniper pickup for GAIMIN Gladiators. The time when they played Brood that it did work out, they did run Brood plus sniper lane, so they'll be happy to get that combination again.
Moron. Lane's paper look very strong. Yeah, sniper in the first 10 minutes thrive, Shrapnel, win lane, get Brood her 6. Tusk, Windrunner, punchy in lane, Sniper can then ditch the Brood, go play at the tri-lane. But overall, I am going to be seeing pretty decent lanes there from GAIMIN. Of course, Sniper does fall off, as we've seen multiple times, but yeah, I think GAIMIN should be pretty happy with what they got right now. A lot of speed to punish what looks like quite a lane-focused setup from Nouns so far.
And also Sniper, with his, you know, built-in attack range that he gets, is one of the better supports that can assist you with killing the Phoenix Supernova, which was kind of an issue that was presented earlier. It's solved now. And Windranger with the BKB does a good job of killing it anyway, even though her attack speed comes from Whirlwind. She's a universal hero now. She builds stats in general, and she gets attack speed from the agility that she...
Jinku playing Sniper, but by Master Madness and one exit for me.
Storm! They go back for the Storm.
Yeah, still a good pickup. Not having too much lockdown, again, on GAIMIN. They do have Shackle Shot, they do have Gleipnir later on, maybe some Snowball Punch from Tusk. Orchid on Broodmother was not proven to be successful, especially if Gunner's going to be playing that Doom again, picking up the
You really got to pick a hero, you got 10 seconds
and
left.
removing that silence, kind of removing
5
also
seconds, Morty.
what
It'll be
GAIMIN wants to
fine.
do, hit this earlier timing.
Radiant team ban!
It's also just good at jumping the supports on GAIMIN, right? You have this Sniper who's very susceptible to dying. You have this Tusk who's going to be a nuisance with Snowball, so if you get the jump on him, it eliminates that threat. Also can pressure Windranger. The thing is, Quinn, again, he's in a position where he can just pick a hero that's very good versus Storm on lane.
There's only
The
10
question is
seconds
how
left to pick a
comfortably
hero!
will he be able to translate winning that lane into map
5
pressure.
seconds left
Because
now.
that's where GAIMIN mostly failed in game.
That's why Monkey King comes to mind again. If you punch the Storm in lane when he comes close to the wave, after laning phase, you naturally want to jump towards a Brood or you want to make a gank, and the speed in which GAIMIN play, like, you should be able to punish this type of lineup from Nouns. Like, it's, what, 2 supports that don't really make sweeping moves on the map. Hoodwink can, but you also itemize less aggressively now. Doom wants to park himself in the lane. If you can invade the jungle, Storm can't get to Witchblade very early. And if you don't get an early Witchblade, then you're not getting an early Orchid or a BKB. So I just want Quinn to be able to play into the map this time around.
Yes, I want Earthshaker or I want Quap for Quinn, so that he has. Earthshaker has a really like, it's not a bad lane when he plays against the Storm before the introduction of grenades and facets. It was pretty difficult, but having extra lockdown, and I like the Fisher a lot because you can choose if you're not the one who's getting doomed. The chase potential from Nouns is okay. They have, you know, this Phoenix, the Storm, but you also have instant lockdown. You can block them off with Fisher, and you can try to reset that way.
What is a carry that you wouldn't mind playing into a Brood sniper lane? Because that is what Nouns is looking at. We have the Dragon Knight and the Alchemist getting removed from the pool already by GAIMIN Gladiators. I know Luna's still in the pool, but I think that's kind of bad to play into that. That feels, at least it feels bad.
I mean, typically people would pick things like Monkey King or Ursa versus Brood, but they've just... It's not as comfortable as having a ranged carry in this patch, and also hard matchup versus Fenrir.
Are there any good matchups still left in the pool?
Come on, Dire Team, pick it good.
There's potential. I mean, Yuma's specialty is roll. That's okay. Constantly aggressive. I'm just thinking like the chase down of laning phase, like the axes with the fire spirits. You get a couple kills. You also can defend the tower because you have whirling axes against these spiderlings. But then, of course, you're playing into like Tusk Punch.
You really got to pick a hero. You got 10 seconds left.
I could see maybe that being a pretty good pick for Yuma.
You better pick your hero. 5 seconds.
Weaver. The Weaver.
They want to get kills in lane. The Shukuchi, they're trying to kill. That's the thing with this pick.
It also kites, right? When you play against Whirlwind, you need to be able to disengage from the Whirlwind, and Weaver, outside of being ranged, which is more comfortable in this patch, has got that maximum speed to run away, and early aggression, which may be needed. Also, the scouting from the Storm shouldn't be underestimated. Weaver's bugs are such a good scouting tool in the early game to chase a hero like Broodmother, who runs away very fast, but the latch of the spiders should be very helpful.
It screams Shaker now as well for GAIMIN. The points that Lacoste mentioned again, like Storm, throw that onto Weaver as well. You see Weaver who steps up, get the Echo Slam, follow up with like an Assassinate plus a power shot, any additional damage.
For long distance is really good. Having Wind Ranger, having Sniper, you just need one more hero to set it up, and that for me is Shaker.
Shaker does feel very good.
How about a Void Spirit?
And Void Spirit is a Quinn specialty hero.
Yep.
It's not super popular in this meta, but what it does in this game is it has very long range and very long range catch. It also builds Aghanim Scepter, which the silence is very useful versus both Storm and Weaver, and it's a high tempo aggressive mid lane.
And as long as Quinn's comfortable on his hero, we're going to see, in theory, a completely different game. Because if Quinn was able to step up in that previous game, they probably don't get shut out that quickly. Put him on a hero that he wants to play, you probably gave him choice, like, what do you want to play? Here he calls a voice for it, you let him play it. Like Effie's mentioning the Aghanims, it's very important, but he needs the active runes, he needs to play into the Brood, he needs to kind of just bring life to this game. Because once again, I don't think the scaling is as scary for Nouns, but it's still, if you misplay, then Storm can take over the game.
Moron.
I think that a lot of what went wrong in Game 1 was a mental thing and how they thought about the game. And I think going into this Game 2, they're going to be a lot more alert and a lot more on their toes and give Nouns the respect that they deserve. So that being said, I do like the Slostic Void Spirit. I think it's very good for GAIMIN. They should be able to win on paper, but we'll see.
Yeah, much easier lineup to execute for GAIMIN. In this second game, they fixed some of the issues they had in game number 1 when it comes down to locking down the heroes and also scaling, something that you mentioned. I think they are going to scale pretty well, so they're not too afraid to push this game long if it's necessary. It's also a second game. They lost the first one, so they want to have some more security, and it definitely feels good. I think we are going to see the Game 3.
So less all in on a fast timing. They got a little bit of everything there. If they do well on the lanes, FED, if you still feel like GAIMIN will still set a very high timing, high tempo?
They should, because that's their playstyle. And also, an issue that happened last game was because Doom had such a good game off of some really good plays in the early game, he had that early blink to then blink Doom and Invoker. I think blink Dooming a Void Spirit in the early game is a lot harder to do. So if your tempo setter from the mid lane isn't worrying about getting doomed like pre-minute 20, they should be able to rotate, they should be able to get
GAIMIN can also smoke quite effectively. Like Tusk, Sniper, plus a Brood or a Void Spirit should net kills. Kind of GAIMIN lacked kind of purpose outside of me walk down tower last game. So I think they have a bit more of a game plan.
Okay, well, let's see and let's hear the thoughts of Coach Milan, who's sitting right now with
Follow
Gary.
my lead.
Hello, Sheebs. I am here with Milan. I watched your series against Spirit, and you guys almost looked like you sort of surprised yourselves with that result. And here you are up again, 1-0 in the series. Confidence must be incredibly high.
I mean, again, we're playing against another world champion, so I don't think we think much about them. Like, we only focus on ourselves and try to like take what we can from it. I think everybody in this tournament looks a bit down on us. I think we try to use it and just play the best we can every moment of the game.
So I noticed you guys have Doom and Weaver in this draft, two heroes that statistics say are not especially winny heroes. Explain to me why you've gone for Doom and Weaver in this draft.
I think all heroes have their unique strengths, and it depends on the whole draft. Like the heroes they played with and against. And if it's only like 10 to 15 games on different teams, it's like the results might vary. You know, even the Tundra series, I think second game they should have won with Doom and stuff like this. Like I think it will work for us. You never know. A million things will happen.
But you're confident in your team going into game 2 here?
I'm always confident in my team. I think that's what our strength is trusting each other. You just have to. And that's it. We just trust each other. We play every sequence the best we can, and what happens, happens.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to game 2. The game 1 was fantastic. And to cast this game, we're going to cast it over to Sunsfan and Cinder, and I'm feeling generous. Have a good one, boys.
Wow. Expecting some sort of quib there.
He wasn't feeling generous.
I don't even know.
He had nothing.
I don't know how to react.
He had nothing.
I'm dumbfounded by that. Thank you so much, Ted. Really appreciate it. Of course, was the interview of Milan, the coach of Nouns. And Cinder in game number 2, Nouns have shown that they are here for a reason.
Yep, for sure. But I would also say in this draft, GAIMIN have shown that they are here for a reason. Because I think this adjustment to what happened in game number 1, I think looks very promising to me. That's not to say that they're necessarily a favorite based on strategy, but it does show that they had a pretty clear discussion about problems they just faced, and they're making adjustments. Now, for me, this game is interesting for a different reason. This is kind of the battle of the bottom of the barrel. It's Sniper versus Doom. Which hero can have the worst win rate out of the two?
Yeah.
And we shall see. I think we had a series with GAIMIN Gladiators recently, you and I. That was the one where they ran that. I think that was part of their Chen Alchemist strat, where they ran a 4 sniper, and we were like, there were a lot of picks that we thought could have done better for them. We'll see if Tofu can shine here. Obviously, the Sniper Brood lane is the one they love to run.
Yep.
But yeah, I have not personally been particularly impressed by Sniper 4 from any team.
Nope. Agreed.
Regardless of whether it's won or not, it has not convinced me.
Sometimes they win. It's like, oh, Sniper just happened to be on that. Really have the hugest of impact. But the laning stage is a pretty important aspect of Sniper. We'll see. And obviously, on the other side, the Doom was such a horrific win rate that we talked about last game. We're just one with it.
Yep.
We're talking off camera again about how important that shard that he got in that 50-50 of the center was.
That was actually fun.
Based on one in particular fight, and I wonder, I don't know how often he actually buys it, but that's going to change itemization at all.
I mean, you had the point that it's kind of interesting against Brood, because of when there's that many spiders running in, you can heal a ton with the shard, but I don't think we'll see him buy it. Lella's in trouble.
Yeah, power shot did miss. Bushwhack connects on the
Dyrachyo in trouble.
Yep, Dyrachyo is the one that has to worry now as Gunnar with that Scorched Earth. Looks like it's going to be enough. Still, I mean, getting this position 1 out of the lane for even seconds can definitely turn the tides in this lane. Come back down the avenue he went through before. Gunnar very healthy. And I wanted to mention one thing as well. Obviously, the Treant Protector was banned in the second phase. That was what I played last game. This, historically, is the best hero.
He is very good at Phoenix.
Throughout his entire historic career, this is his best hero by far.
By nature, it functions very differently from Treant, though. I know both heroes have a little bit of healing, if you will, but the way they use Treant, I guess the one similarity is that they use both supports as a combo breaker, I suppose you could call it. Like the Treant, when the enemy team is advancing on you, you overgrowth them and hold them in place. On Phoenix, you drop down the Supernova and you divert attention. You either have to run away, or you have to hit the egg, or you have to be really strong and just tank it out. So I guess from that perspective, it's kind of similar, but in not having that big lockdown that Fly has offered them in these previous 3 games that they've owned in, his Treant has been instrumental in every win. So we'll see if the Phoenix can do something similar, or if this is a little bit of a weak spot that GAIMIN have found in this 3rd game with the ban.
Yeah, imagine banning a tree and that makes all the difference. Might be.
I mean, it's a very high win rate hero in this patch in high immortal pubs as well. So it's like, it's a good Treant patch in general, and then you combo that with having Fly on it. It's one of his absolute best, and then, you know, it's definitely a good patch to be good at Treant, so he's not going to shy away from that given the opportunity.
So far, if we want to look at the mid lane, it's Storm.
And we have first
Storm
blood.
Brother. Oh, we actually have first blood. Tofu on the sniper. After we gave that hero so much praise, of course. Dies to Fly, who gets the first blood.
And Ace can't trade. He's a level 3 brood, so
It happens. But both members of Nouns are pretty damn low here. And again, we talked about the regen aspect coming out from Ace's facet brood. So
yeah.
Tango's not nearly as effective once they step outside. Interesting how positioning is actually really important while the Tango is.
I don't know if it reduces
does that count
the
as
Tango. Actually, it looks like it does.
Ellis inside the shards will actually stand his ground. Zeller will get Infernal Blade.
He's in trouble
back
here.
to follow. Power Shot not really going to connect onto anything. Scorched Earth should be enough. Last right click from Gunner brings Celery to the ground. Horatio have to win run back under the cover of Tier 1 power. So Gunner and company having a pretty decent time in this lane. I mean, Horacio's farm is going very well, though.
Yeah, he's out of mana, though. So let's see what he does. I guess the Arcane Boots are not far away. It's just 350, and he has a big wave coming into his tower, so he can probably CS this without using too much mana. Yeah, this bottom lane, I would say for Nouns, yeah, they're gonna just go on him. He has no mana, so Gunner's gonna poke and prod at Doracho. Realizes there's no backup. He's just hooked.
Acorn shot. Lelis gets credit for that one. And yeah, this lane has definitely turned in Nouns' favor.
I mean, look at the tip as well. Copy is immediately like, he's immediately tipping Celery for TPing mid for the bottle refill of Quinn, because that just opened up a kill on Doracho on the Windranger. So just taking immediate advantage of that. I think the comms there must have been really clear. We just heard their comms previously, very clear. He TP'd mid on Tusk. They just dived the Windranger. There's no counterplay.
Celery actually picked up the first power rune of the game. Damage. Really be able to use it too effectively here. At the very least does deny it towards the Nouns side.
Oh boy, Tire's bottom tower's getting hit.
Looking at the CS in the mid lane, very even overall. Copy with a slight lead. Both heroes of the Spirit variety are level 6 though, so mobility is at their disposal, meaning ganking them will be quite difficult.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, you actually called off camera the Void Spirit pick. What do you think of this hero in the current meta?
I mean, I wasn't really fully confident in them choosing it. I was just seeing the Ags against 2 cores, right? It's good against the Storm and the Weaver. It's a Quinn specialty. It's a classic hero matchup against Void Spirit in the lane. When I'm with that, Gunner might get run down here if they have enough slow. Quinn, this is a deep. He's actually thinking twice about it.
Power's going to help out here a bit as well, although I'm not sure they want to pursue, considering 3 members of the game.
That does not feel
failed gank there. Now Yuma, help him Fly, taking damage.
They're working on that very well together.
Quite low.
Damn, they both took like 500 there.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, so the Void Spirit, I think it's the most important thing here. It's comfort for Quinn, and the core matchups are good when you have the Ags. But how good he is in the meta? Good question. Like, I feel like more or less no teams are really running this very much, so could be a lot of the time that is a sign that, you know, the hero has kind of fallen off a bit. But there's no game, there's no hero that's never good. So
Yep.
It's about identifying, and the later you get in the draft, the more niche you can get with your picks, because you have enough information to cover weaknesses that heroes have. So I think it's a good pick this game. See if he makes it work. That rotation didn't work out, obviously. Yuma in trouble.
Here has Shikuchi. Oh, just in time to get out of the reach of the snowball.
They're going to see him. I think he saw him. Oh, he missed.
Again, outside of the shard. Boy, these ganks for GAIMIN not working out early on in the game. Good time to go, though.
My goodness, Yuma has bad CS. I just realized. This is... I mean, Nouns have 3 kills, but they're losing the lanes quite significantly here. Copy's doing well, but the Brood is 46 and 15 against Weaver, 27 and 4. Your Doom is 34 and 2 against 53 and 9. Just raw, complete outlaning here by Gladiators. Daracha in trouble, will be doomed.
Tofu, he's going to be dead first.
Oh boy.
They'll make up for it with good movement.
Doom bottom. So yeah, big kill for Gunner.
They need all these kills to keep this game even. That's what's so crazy about it, is that GAIMIN's laning has been just completely...
Yeah, 5-0 now.
Very solid.
GAIMIN in the lead.
Yeah.
Oh, Radiant's bottom tower.
That's been very unusual for this patch, that teams win the lanes this hard. But just like in game number 1, Nouns are really good at rotating and making, just having good calls. So that can cover up some of those weaknesses quite well.
Step onto copy Twin. One level behind,
Dire's
right?
top tower is under attack.
Yeah. Part. Smoke up, actually. Action is copy a bit low on mana. Doesn't have anything in his bottle as well. 8 charges on the wand, but it looks like their sights are set on Gunner and Lel.
Nice power shot.
Power shot will clip him inside the shards. This should be a freebie. Didn't really need Quinn. Does have his team.
And he's gonna get an arcane, yeah. Copy will be too late. I think Copy could have actually committed for that rune, but then he would have expended his entire mana pool and been at risk of getting chased down by Quinn +1, perhaps.
Bigger kill though, Ace. Got a good amount of distance, and Copy just no mana to fully pursue. Yuma poking him from the side, but to get him down to half.
Dire's middle tower.
The bottle will occur here for Copy.
Seeing a clear adjustment here as well from Ace in terms of his itemization. So last game with that Orchid first item, now he's going to go for Mech, probably Mech Pipe, just full on Aura build. And he feels like he doesn't need the Orchid because this time he actually has heroes in his team that are going to play me. So the Void Spirit is going to do the brunt of the silencing and the initiation. You have Windranger, who this time the carry has some sort of lockdown. You have the Tusk.
Did you see what they did, Rick?
Sniper's also there. He's like the weird cousin.
Attention.
Everybody has that guy, but it's fine.
Terrible win rate, so nobody really likes him, but they have to include him in their draft, apparently.
He's part of the family.
Like, that's a family reunion. You gotta be there. But God, we hate you. Yeah, so it'll be a pretty fast act, like you said, for Quinn as Gunner. Get ganked here, so he gets off the shard. Racha with the shackle shot. But Doom is going to be applied to the Tusk instead. Meanwhile, mid lane, Tofu does net the kill onto Copy, which is a much bigger
almost
kill.
got fly as well. Quinn gets him.
Stab, and
no, he didn't commit.
Back away. He gets bushwhacked to a tree for his troubles. Aether Remnant is going to connect onto Gunner. They're going to try to chase him down. He has Astral Step available, though. One charge onto the river. I wonder what they're going to build. He might be the one that gets sacrificed here instead. Bushwhack will ensure it.
I think Quinn could have killed the Phoenix there, but it might have cost him his life. So it's one of those moments you got to just make the decision, right? And he plays the safer option, gets out of there. And probably the right call.
Considering that Quinn is going for the early Ags, you see Witchblade will be the first item for Copy. Does that mean he needs to go for the BKB as a second item?
Yeah, most likely to see that.
Stacking double silence.
Celery getting help too late. It's a Brood TP. Unless Ace really wants to play down here, this didn't really feel like a good TP to me, but I guess they're going to redistribute their resources a little bit and have him pressure bot. So yeah, 2-8 the score, and a 3,000 gold lead for GAIMIN Gladiators because they are farming up a storm while playing while Nouns are around making these moves. one of the key differences in this game compared to the previous one is the nature of GAIMIN's lineup with a hero like Void Spirit is that they are forcing rotations for once, right? They are making moves that Nouns respond to. And what happened in that mid-sequence with Quinn was effectively 25 uncontested CS for Brood. They just pulled around Nouns' entire team. Nouns, good news for them that they managed to get that kill on Celery into a tier 1, so it wasn't all in vain.
Yep, another difference, of course, like you mentioned earlier, Ace went for mech, not going for Orchid of any kind.
I guess mech, pipe, Greaves into... That's when I'm unsure where he's going to go after that. If, you know, you could buy Solar, but you're probably having your supports do that. Maybe Hex? I mean, it's Weaver Storm, right?
Yeah.
I guess he'll just get a Hex and have his teammates do the damage, probably. Let's see about that. Yuma will be... So Ace TP bot, lived there a bit, now he gated top.
Celery spotted. Gets the snowball off, and it's going to be towards Gunner. Okay, he's
nice.
Drinking buddies to get pretty damn far away. He's going to get doomed, though, and the sharpshooter will ensure it. In the end, Nouns do get what they came for, but it is just a support.
The cast range on Drinking Buddies is
insane, yeah.
It's really high.
I hope they don't nerf that, though, because I think it's awesome to watch. Really cool.
I mean, it's still a really good spell if you cut its range by 200, I think.
Over here now.
It's 900 range on all levels of tag team. I think that spell, honestly, I think it's going to get scaling range. That's just the natural way to nerf it. Like 600 plus 100 per level, maybe. Something like that.
Quinn, 50 gold away from the Agnum Scepter, so we'll see how much of an impact this is going to have against that Stormster that we talked about. Copy, he will be going for the BKB, will be going for the Tofu kill as well, but actually can't get to the high ground quite.
Dyer's middle
Regen Rune, quite good on Storm.
Indeed. Oh, I think technically it's worse than before. Way, right? They lowered the amount that you regen at. Because if you get hit, it lowered.
Yeah, so the base regen rune is worse in this stage of the game than it used to be, but now you still regenerate after taking. On a hero like Storm, I think that's the hero that got nerfed the most by that change because he was the best at not getting hit while spending his mana. There's the big item alert, number 1. Yep. So Quinn having a much better game than game 1, and this is the item of the game, potentially. This unlocks a totally new playstyle for GAIMIN, where they can now just initiate and kill Storm, they can initiate and kill Weaver, and the side of Nouns does not have saves. There's no disruption or anything to that effect, so...
The important thing is he did show there, so they know for a fact he does have Ags, and yeah, it would be the official reveal, I suppose, as actually missing to simulate the Palace is dead. Nonetheless,
there's that crazy cousin with the gun.
That sounds very American of you to say, actually. As Poppy will get the haste rune. Snags.
I mean, look at Sniper. Look at him. And tell me... Okay, you can't see him because you're seeing... Oh, you can. All right. I didn't mean Tofu, okay? I meant Sniper. Tofu is very handsome and definitely not a crazy cousin. He's a very wholesome and nice cousin that we all love, and... Yes. We'll leave it at that.
We will.
I think we need to move the camera before all of Twitch chat lose focus on the actual game, just looking at Tofu's face. Alright.
Very hard to look at.
Yep.
Yuma has a Maelstrom right now. The question is, does he go for the Gleipnir right away? No, it'll be the BKB for survivability first.
Oh, Radiant's top tower
Shard, which it's got to be a top 10 shard in the game. Absurdly good.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, isn't this like more or less the only carry in Dota that buys the shard on the regular?
There's got to be a couple.
There's not many, at least.
Gleipnir being shown on the copy.
Over here.
The zip away.
Close call. He gets caught there by the Aether, and he's dead. He might be dead anyway.
To the snowball and the silence from Quinn. Simulate, or Resonant Pulse, I should say, owning him. Now, Copy's going to have to stay off the map until he can finish KB. I mean, it is really hard to play against that without any sort of distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pacing of the game definitely feels a lot different here. Game with a 3K lead.
And this is how Brood games often go if Brood is playing with a team that can take advantage of the vision Brood provides and just keep the ball rolling. And that was what GAIMIN tried to do in the previous game with significantly different heroes, but the the key difference in the last one was that, first of all, Nouns didn't lose the lanes as hard, and then the moves that they made were at the perfect timing to slow down stuff. Now is, in this game, this would be the perfect timing to find some big kills and slow things down, but it's difficult for them. The Void Spirit is super slippery, the Wind Ranger is a hard carry to kill, Brood has gone full tank, so who do you gank, right? It's a very, very difficult position for the Dire, and the panel was talking about this. Storm's specialty as a hero is playing skirmishes and picking apart 2v2s, 3v3s, and in team fights he has to find the support, but
Dire's top tower's fallen.
it's definitely not easy.
Yeah. Should also mention that Gunner Doom has a blink drums, but the creep that he has stolen is the Centaur, so for the stomp. Now the Purge actually isn't even that particularly good against the silence from Quinn because he has 2 charges.
Yeah, he has 2 of them.
Pulse.
Yep.
Although, I mean, the Purge we talked about last game, very low,
under attack.
still not low enough. See how much this changes trajectory for
Dire's top
War Stomp
tower
is a
under
classic creep.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's have a bit of a cast on.
You know, Morty, it sometimes feels like they don't even
Smoke
care.
now from
Dire's
GAIMIN,
middle tower is
heading
under
back
attack.
into their jungle. Looks like Nouns will be very aware of it. Yeah. Copy basically a recipe away from finishing the beat. That first courier.
He showed his position there. They're gonna ping him out to kill the courier. He might just, yeah, he's okay.
Dire's middle tower.
What if somebody was in the base at that point?
All right, if he would have got ganked there.
Ganked in their base.
Oh boy, Dire's
The only hero
middle
crazy
tower
enough
is
to
under attack.
be there would be Sniper, and he doesn't have a stun. Well, he has Assassinate, but he wouldn't have time. And I feel like GAIMIN's team comms right now is we're not going back across the river.
Dire's middle tower.
Despite all of this, and it's only 2,000 net worth lead for game. They have the tower advantage.
Nouns are doing a good job not bleeding here and finding their farm the best they can.
Yeah, it feels like they've been really on point with knowing when their power spikes are and then committing at that point.
For sure.
Just kind of dodging.
Oh, Radiant's top
Good.
tower
So
is
they're going to
under
go for the
attack.
double BKB for the Weaver and the Storm, of course. And Doom, third core for Nouns, will be opting for a Shiva's. Basically a recipe away from that.
And notice how Nouns are moving their heroes, right? Because they know that GAIMIN's mindset is just full-on constricting them on their side of the map. So they're playing... This is this new... Or I say new, it's not so new anymore. Oh, Garage. Oh, Jesus. So this is the bigger map that we got, I want to say, when was it, a year ago, year and a half ago, whatever, coming into effect here. The old GAIMIN you couldn't have done this against because these outskirts of the map didn't exist. But the way Nouns are playing the map now is they have Doom going all the way across the top left and Weaver going all the way across the bottom right and just finding farm that way.
So
that's how they find their goal.
Gunner forces several TP to ensure that they get the Wisdom Rune. Now that they're there, they might as well pick for me.
Yep.
Damage here. Imagine if Gunner stuck.
And they do. Okay, this is close.
They actually, I don't think they can. Duraccio, well, we've seen this time and time
Duraccio,
again.
don't stifling dagger it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
All right, Quinn since it's open.
Valerie,
okay.
you can always. Okay. That was hard to watch, but they get it in the end. Quinn with the shard. Nouns will follow suit.
Oh no, are they also gonna struggle? Oh, why do you, he had to stop Sunraying. He was. Oh my God, these are. Wow.
Close call.
Valve's greatest invention. Everybody loves these.
Wow, copy.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep. Because Weaver bought his, and
well, he was never going to be.
Wait, hang on.
Anyway.
So
he's low. He was lower.
Oh, he's lower net worth than Doom. Yeah. That's actually not that surprising when you consider how the laning stage went. I was talking about how little CS Weaver had, and then you consider Doom had a better laning stage and he has Devour. So, yeah. But now Weaver will pull ahead with that extra 1,400 gold he got gifted, essentially. Still 3,000 here for GAIMIN Gladiators. I wonder when Roche is going to be a thing, because, you know, Brood could definitely go to work. They're hard to contest into with the auras, but they don't have the best Roshing lineup. They will do it now, though.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Sure will.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Roche #1 should go the way of GAIMIN here.
This is faster than I expected. Tag team is quite crazy good.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, it's still tag team, right?
Yes. Okay. Gets 2 members damage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's not.
Still good for Roshing.
He just delivered a bunch of goodies.
And Quinn will take the Aegis, no big surprise there.
Tower is under attack.
Except for Cinder, who I'm sure would have guessed the wrong person if we gave him a chance. Learned from last game to just not give an opinion.
Yep.
Which is usually your forte, actually.
Really?
Yeah, you're very neutral on everything.
Okay, I believe you.
So what does GAIMIN want to get out of this Aegis? And actually, Nouns, surprisingly, are going to smoke into it. Prize factor.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Run into the fly to get smoked as well. I mean, last game we did see Quinn take the Aegis, die immediately, and then Nouns just basically won the game off that fight. So feels like a similar move, but definitely different circumstances this time.
It's very different.
They're looking for the gate play, and actually, GAIMIN were at there just a moment ago.
They're kind of fake. No, they do commit now.
Braccio in the trees, power shot.
Wow, this is so awkward.
Creeps. Oh my goodness.
My god.
Oh my goodness. They're not smoked anymore though, so it's even more awkward as the jump in from Gunnar. He's unsuccessful. He Shivas one hero, now he runs away in shame.
I was praising Nouns for their timing last game. That was really unfortunate. They were there, they had the perfect moment of opportunity for like 10 seconds, but they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't vision, and then when he finally is like, okay, screw it, I'm going, the moment is gone.
Braccio, he's gonna show himself, he's gonna get doomed, I believe. Bushwhack, okay, he's gonna get saved by the tusk, so the Doom not able to be used in a very successful fashion. Actually, it was on Quinn, so that's just the first Aegis. Now the runaway tactics from Nouns. They already lost their Phoenix. Alice will TP out in the midst of all the spiders.
Tower's under attack.
So essentially a Doom for the Aegis.
Very good disengage. I thought that was going to cost them dearly. When the egg got popped there, and the position that game Gladiators were in. I mean, it's still not a good outcome. You're going to lose 2 towers, but silver lining there, that could have been even worse, I think. Beside Nouns, quick reaction from GAIMIN Gladiators to protect on that initiation. They're kind of baiting Duracho out front, but Celery was quick to cover, and they obviously have their auras to protect him with the pipe breeze. Now it's glyph time.
Yep, high ground attempt from GAIMIN with the 4K lead now. No Aegis, of course.
They are
very healthy.
They keep going. All right.
Bushwhack to try to slow this down a bit. Swarm as well. They don't have Doom's ultimate. Maybe that is what prompting this response from GAIMIN Gladiators. Bushwhack onto Quinn. Zip in from Coffee, not going to be fully committed to. Right there into the instant silence onto the Weaver. The Sunray trying to heal up the Weaver at the last moment here, but no. Down goes Yuma. And of course, Doom left with very little resources as Coffee is the next hero on the list. He does have mana to get away, trying to kite Quinn to the high degree. Jumps in really deep and just gets insta-give. With such low HP, very risky play. Nice drop from Celery to dodge some damage here, but 4 kills for GAIMIN. And this should be a full set of racks, if not more. Lilas being slow to a crawl just outside of his fountain. So close, yet so far. Full team wipe for GAIMIN.
And all 3 cores. It's 15 seconds. They'll be back to defend their second lane, but that is an absolutely massive blow. And what a play call to keep pushing. They didn't have Aegis. Duracho was half health. They just make the read. We're stronger than them. It doesn't matter. They don't have Doom. They don't have Supernova. We can do this. And they get the maximum value out of that play. Full lane, 5 kills, and a clean disengage. And all they lost was Quinn.
And they force out the last fortification for quite a while on that tower there.
Yeah. Very, very nicely.
See how fast they want to reset, because, of course, Roche will not be back anytime soon. But with this 9K lead, the world is GAIMIN's oyster to some degree.
I mean, this is going to be kind of telling if they choose to push again now, or if it literally was, okay, no Doom, no Supernova, we can do whatever we want. And it does seem that's the play call, because your conditions now are better than on your first push, with the exception of those 2 cooldowns, and they feel like that's the biggest deal. Not having that, in their arsenal was enough for the push. Now that they have them, they're going to chill, play the map, control the waves. Don't know if they're going to wait for another Roche. It's quite far away. Earliest respawn is 3 minutes away.
And by then, the Daedalus will be there for Dyrachyo, and that is a scary proposition. I mean, that's something we didn't really mention. A lot of times against this winner at this tournament, the pick for the opposing team, at least one Blade Mail, right? Like a Kunkka or a Centaur or something like that. I mean, Doom could theoretically buy it, but it's not a normal item, at least.
I wouldn't actually have been that mad at that. Could have been interesting. I'm not saying that would have changed the outcome of the game, but I don't mind that idea to get Blade Mail and Doom in this game. Probably not anymore.
They're not stopping. Top lane is what they have their sights set on.
Nouns are kind of slow to get here.
They are, but they do have every spell at their disposal. Tower's already dead, though.
Not my problem.
And they get scanned out.
GAIMIN knows. There is no way they're not flanking us when they're not.
For sure. Gunner's going to show, pops the Shivas. Blink in, but nobody to be found quite yet. Sunray going to try to provide a little bit extra, but everything missing here for Nouns, even the sharpshooter. As GAIMIN dodging left and right, it's like a mini game. And now Nouns will have to go back to the high ground without the surprise tactics at their disposal.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Nouns, if you do want to make that flank move, which I appreciate them going for, I think that was the best play. They have to make it quicker. When you let the enemy team take 2/3 of the tower before you start going there, they know you're coming from the flank. The flank move has to effectively hit as they start sieging, so they second guess whether you're doing it or not. That was incredibly obvious.
Celery is found. Gunner's going to jump in to get the silence, but Sunray being used to heal Gunner up just a little bit. Yuma has to use his BKB and retreat, so really not much damage done just to Celery. Another bit of a whiff here from Nouns. They don't really expend anything huge. Still have Doom. They still have, well, they have Egg, just not enough mana to use it, apparently, at this moment in time. Question is, does GAIMIN continue? We're a minute away from knowing when Roche will spawn.
Yep.
Lelis is going to transition into trying to do a little bit of right click, I would think. Although he did take the Nemesis curse. I guess that's from, because he's so long range, extra damage is just what you go for.
They need all the damage they can get. It's the biggest problem for the Dire right now, is actually locking down and killing heroes. So if the Hoodwink can do that little bit extra on an Acorn shot, it could make a difference. Gunner's trying to wipe out the spiders. Unfortunately, they will get grieved. We'll survive the first volley, and maybe that's just going to be Ace building up an army to siege top now. We'll see. This time Nouns are going to be there quicker. I mean, they have to, because they don't have a buffer.
I mean, a lot of them have just been in the base waiting, so it's a lot of time wasted as well.
Yeah, they're just now we're at the point where they're losing flat out on economy. Like, GAIMIN have control of 80% of the map, and the only way Nouns really get it back is with a one fight. They have to find a smoke, they have to jump the right target, get the Doom off. The question is, who's the best target? It's probably Quinn, but it's hard to find reliable kills against a team that has the Pyke on Sniper to get him out of trouble, Greaves, Pipe, and drinking buddies into Snowball.
Yep, and I believe Quinn was working on a Lincoln.
Yep,
so
he almost has it.
That's another obstacle for the Doom. Speaking of the Doom, we'll have to pop the BKB.
And TP out against the punch.
Yeah, he's dead. Easy kill, and he does not have buyback, so this is a 5 versus 4 for GAIMIN. Let's see if they take advantage of this. We can see that the Roche timer a minute and a half away, so this would theoretically be the correct play to go for this now. This tier 3 is dead as well.
Middle tower, it's gone.
And
Dire's middle barrier.
I believe they're just going to have to give it up. They do have fortification though, as there's the initiation onto copy, but not going to fully commit. It's the assassinate. Was being procced, but not going to fly out.
Oh, no,
very patient of Copy to hold his BKB there. It was clearly what Quinn was going for, was baiting it out, but Copy felt safe enough.
Gonna have to defend here, still 12 seconds away from getting their Doom back. Does have his ultimate. Range racks at the very least is going to fall here in all likelihood. We'll play it a little bit safer. Ace will get drinking buddy. Drinking a buddies. How do you even use that in a sentence?
Did they use it on you?
He's getting drunk.
He gets drinkies buddied.
He's having a drink tonight. So they'll back away, play this safe, and go for the next Rosh in all likelihood,
Radiant's
which
top tower is under attack.
maybe sound like a broken record. Nouns are going to have to contest this when that eventually comes. I mean, it is daytime for another 2 minutes, so do they even want to relocate to that area of the map?
I mean, do they have a choice?
I'm talking about from GAIMIN's side.
Do they have a choice but to win this game? Can they do anything else but win, except the last game?
Yeah, we'll see.
I think the best way to get Rosh is to stay up here.
Over here now.
You know? Just keep controlling it for as long as you like. If you ever find a singular pick, you have the choice of do we actually want to start heading down for the Rosh, or do we want to just go for the GG? Because as long as this wave is pushed in this aggressively, Nouns can never go for Rosh. The Roshan lineup is too slow. If they go for it, they get mega.
Okay, as you're saying this, doing the literal opposite.
No, but it's fine. I'm saying by doing what they're doing, they get the choice, right? And they choose to do it now, but they didn't have to. This could have waited another minute if they wanted and then take it top, right? It's like, what's the real risk? As long as you keep pushing in top and the enemy team has to show heroes, then they're not Roshan.
You even curse Roshan. Right? It's crazy.
Roshan's going to survive this.
Yes.
I think Roshan will win TI.
So you can't use it ironically because the gods know. GAIMIN himself knows as Gunnar. He's gonna go all out for this. His smoke is popped though. His celery to be shown by the Shivas, and Gunnar not interested in him, and already the Aegis is taken. Duraccio gets the Aegis, and this is a dead Doom. 50 seconds on the deck. Gets off his ultimate onto the Windrunner, but again, has the Aegis, so doesn't really mind dying. The snowball will keep him alive just a little bit longer, as they're gonna be able to take out Phoenix easily. Nice time lapse to dodge some damage, but Nouns are going to have to hightail away. We'll lose Lelis in the process, though. They have 2 buybacks, but not the Doom. And even if he did, no ultimate to use.
Yeah.
Is that your analysis?
All right.
God, you're the best.
Here's my analysis. Nouns are in trouble. But here, okay, the good news for Nouns is there's a third game.
Yes.
And in that one, things can go different than this one and more similar to the first one. And the first one was good for them because they won.
Panel, take notes of this.
They could do that.
Unbelievable speech by Cinderin. Hopefully it's motivating you. Say smart things. I think we all got dumber in the process, though. All right, they're going to have 5 members up for Nouns, so they'll have the opportunity to defend this. But you can see the Rosh banner right in front of the tier 4 towers as Copy getting destroyed. He's done. Does have buyback though. Whirlwind for Duraccio. Still has the Aegis though, as the egg is going to get consumed. Very delicious for GAIMIN Gladiators to eat. I believe it was scrambled this time around. As Ace, they are not doing anything for this hero right now. Gunnar brought back into the fray, destroyed again. Copy will have to zip back into the fountain as a double kill for Quinn.
Oh boy,
Now it's left in the 5 versus 3 as the GGs come out. So this will in fact go to a game number 3.
Yeah. As I was saying early on in this game, I feel like GAIMIN made some really good adjustments after the problems they faced in game number 1, and that's just class, you know? They had some problems. They still ran their Brute back this time as a 3rd pick, but they built around it really differently and made for a much cleaner game, so well done.
Indeed, and I believe this is the first game 3 of the day. Is that not correct, Shiva?
It is correct, Sunspan. Thank you so much. GAIMIN Gladiators, the first team today to force out a 3rd game. After game 1 didn't go their way, game 2 looked vastly different lacrosse. This was what they were planning when they picked the Brood.
Yeah, the strongest teams are going to be always the ones who can make adjustment after losing game 1 instead of needing like a day or 2 to make some huge adjustment. The good thing is they realized what went wrong and they changed the draft completely 180 or